Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests. Welcome to the 2024 Cox Inspirational Student Hero Awards. I'm David Delleman, your host for this momentous occasion. As we gather today, we embark on a journey of celebration, inspiration, and unwavering positivity. Let's dive right in with a hook. Imagine a world where every obstacle becomes a stepping stone, where challenges fuel our determination, where smiles light up even the darkest days. That world exists right here, right now, in this room. The tone is set. It's celebratory, it's uplifting, and it's filled with hope, because today we honor not just students, but heroes, those remarkable individuals who've turned adversity into triumph. Why are we here? We're here to recognize 37 extraordinary students from across Okaloosa County. These aren't just any students. They're the architects of our future, the community leaders, the healers, the advocates, the innovators. They're the ones who will shape our world tomorrow. Governor James M. Cox, our company's visionary founder, ignited this flame 125 years ago. A former teacher himself, he understood that education isn't just about textbooks, it's about empowerment. And today we continue his legacy. I invite you to close your eyes for just a moment. Feel the energy in this room, the anticipation, the pride, the shared purpose. Picture these heroes, their heads held high, smiles radiating like sunbeams. Imagine the obstacles they've conquered, the mountains scaled, the rivers crossed. And now, imagine the spotlight turning toward them, illuminating their courage. You can open your eyes now. We're not just honoring these heroes, we're celebrating their resilience. Their stories remind us that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Their smiles are contagious, their spirits infectious. They inspire us all. Throughout the rest of the program, we will honor our heroes, and their impact will ripple far beyond these walls. Cam Johnson from Cox's Government and Public Affairs team will now take the stage. Meanwhile, thank you for joining us, and congratulations to each of our heroes.
Thank you, David, and thank you to everyone for being here today. This great program could not be done without the great partnership that we have with the Okaloosa County School District. Every year they are so instrumental in helping us to identify these kids and have this event today. So I would like to invite Superintendent Marcus Chambers to the podium to say a few words. Superintendent Chambers.
And good afternoon, everybody. So I just want to say this event each year is something that we look forward to. But it's something that would not happen without our partnership with Cox Communications. And you think about, since 1993, this program's been in place. And what it is it's students at schools who overcome challenges where odds might be against them, but because they persevere, this is what is here for them. And it's an acknowledgement of all that they do. But I also want to take a step back and say there's people in the midst at the schools that also make a difference. And it's the teachers, it's the staff, it's the guidance counselors, it's the principals. And the reason why I say that is because they noticed there was a student at the school that may have had to overcome some obstacles, and then they provided that encouragement. And for that, I couldn't be more appreciative, because it's noticing that makes a difference. And I want to say to the students in here, and there are students in here right now, if we were to fast forward 10 years from now, in 10 years, you're going to be doing some special things. And special things, whether that be a doctor, a lawyer, whether that be cybersecurity, whether that be working here locally, you're going to be making a difference. And it could be because of this acknowledgement that it propels you to go forward. So I couldn't be more thankful. And then just to our parents and grandparents who are here, you know that you're a part of this journey as well. So what you do each and every day is so appreciated. And again, Cox Communications, we thank you. On behalf of myself, Dr. Kelly, our school board member who is here, who's a champion for our students in our schools, just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Chambers. And again, thank you to Dr. Kelly, our school board member, for being here today. We appreciate you being here. We also have a couple other elected officials here today. Our state representative from District 1, Michelle Salzman, is here. She had to take a call, always working at the state level, so we thank her for being here. Also saw Jim Bagby, he's representing Congressman Matt Gates' office, so thank you very much for being here today. And of course, I'd like to thank our volunteers from Cox. We could not do this by ourselves, so thank you to all of our volunteers. Oh, Ted Corcoran snuck in from the Fort Walton Beach Chamber. Ted, thank you so much for being here today. I didn't see you back there. Trying to slip in quietly so you don't get noticed. I appreciate you being here, Ted. But also, again, our volunteers who are here helping us put on this great event, so thank you to all of our volunteers. So let's get on with the awards. As you heard, we have 37 students that will be recognized today. Each student will be called to the stage or called to the podium with a presenter. The presenter will give a brief description on why the student was chosen as a hero. Some of the stories could be longer and more in-depth than others, and that's okay. We want the schools and the families to share the information that you're comfortable sharing. After they're done here at the podium, they will step to my left, the right side of the room here, where you see David and Superintendent Chambers. They are going to receive several different awards. They're going to receive a medallion, an engraved medallion from Cox Communications. They're also going to receive certificates of achievement from Cox, Congressman Matt Gates, State Senator Doug Broxson, State Representative Michelle Salzman, State Representative Joel Rudman, and State Representative Pat Maney. And they're also going to receive a letter of congratulations from United States Senator Rick Scott. The student and presenter will then pause to have their photo taken. The photographer here has the tablet, so either the student or presenter, whoever would like to enter their phone number into that tablet, it will directly text you the photo. So it's not a printed version this year, it will be a digital version that is texted to you. And then you'll notice in the program that the students are listed alphabetically by school, and that's the number that's the order in which we're going to be going. On the back of the name tag, each student has a number written down, and that's the number in which they're going to be called up. I'll call up everybody in groups of 10. They're going to line up on your left, my right side of the room. You'll see one of our volunteers, Sean Flynn, over here with the Cox volunteer shirt. He's going to help give everybody in order. So having said that, if we could go ahead and get numbers 1 through 10 to line up on the right side of the room, your left, my right side of the room, and we'll get started. Sean will get everybody in order for us. As they line up, I would like to remind everybody, the presenters again, we do have 37 students, so please feel free to share what you want to share, but remember to please keep your comments brief. And we do ask that all the students stay until the end of the presentation. We're going to do one group shot, one group picture up here at the front of the room at the end of the event. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance because I certainly will mispronounce names throughout the day today. So I apologize if I do mispronounce a presenter or a student's name today. So I'm going to assume we're Antioch right here. All right, so we have number 1 ready to go. Our first hero is Isabel Johnson from Antioch Elementary School, and Amanda Newbern is going to tell us why she was selected as their hero.
A hero is someone who demonstrates behavior or character traits that people admire or want to emulate. When I think about Isabel, I think about how I want to be just like her. She is resilient. Her life situation never keeps her from blessing others with her positive outlook. She is fierce. On days when she hasn't felt her best, she powers through to accomplish as much as she can. She is kind. She's always encouraging her friends. She looks out for her classmates, and she is respectful to everybody she comes in contact with. She is courageous. Her diagnosis and her treatment challenges have not prevented her from always persevering in life. I nominated Isabel for the Cox Hero Award because she is my hero. She is quick to offer smiles and hugs. She is someone that as an adult I look up to. Her illness is something that she hasn't let define her. In her short life, she has had to face more challenges than many ever will. Isabel is a hero because regardless of the difficult things she's experienced, she continues to spread love and goodness everywhere.
Our next hero from Baker School is actually not able to be here today. He is representing Baker at the state track meet. So he is unable to be here. We will give him a pass since he has made it qualified for the state meet. So the next hero that we will recognize today comes from Blue Water Elementary School. Taylon LaHaye will be introduced by Liza Giambroni.
Michael Jordan once said that obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. It is my honor to introduce Taylon LaHaye, 5th grader at Blue Water Elementary School. I knew of Taylon since he started kindergarten. He had classes in common with my daughter, and many of my friends in education had the pleasure of teaching him. When Taylon is in a room, you are sure to know. He speaks for what he believes in, and he is the first to contribute the most random yet accurate facts that you've ever heard of. He most certainly needs to be a contestant in Jeopardy! His wisdom, depth of knowledge, and views of life are wise beyond his years. Taylon is an open book and navigates through life with a self-confidence that I wish more people in this world possessed. What I love most about Taylon is he always makes humor and happiness a priority in his daily routine. He walks in each morning ready to start the day with a big smile and his latest dad joke. Taylon, here's a joke for you. Your future is so bright that you're going to need some shades. When the school counselor called home to let Taylon's dad know about this honor, his dad was thinking to himself, oh no, not another call from the school with only a couple weeks left until space camp. Taylon has a history of struggling with emotional regulation since he started school at 5 years old. Each year, his dad and uncle would get a call from the teacher not long after school started. But this year was different. Taylon has made huge strides with emotional regulation, and it has not gone unnoticed. I'm honored to have been by your side for this 5th grade chapter of your journey. I know you will continue on to beat to your own drum and create a life to be proud of.
Jennifer Northford, teacher at Bob Sykes Elementary School, will now introduce us to their hero, Brian Grice.
When Brian Grice first came to my class, previous teachers, administrators, and his grandma immediately told me all the things to watch out for with Brian. Soon came the first day, week, month of school, and sure enough, they were right. Brian was squirmy, aggressive, guarded, and mean to everyone. He made excuses for everything and never took responsibilities for his actions. And said things like, I will never be smart enough to pass 3rd grade, or everybody hates me, and I can never do anything right. As I got to know Brian, I knew there was another side to him. Brian fought so hard for attention, whether it be good or bad. Fast forward a few months, I got to know Brian and understand him. Brian lived with his grandparents that have been more like parents than anyone. Brian's family's life wasn't the best before going to live with his grandparents. Brian has changed so much since the first day I met him. The child that once walked through my door that was aggressive, guarded, and mean has slowly become sensitive, kind, smart, and caring for his friends, family, and teacher. Brian has overcome so many barriers, including being retained in 3rd grade, his grandparents' adversities, struggling in school, getting so many referrals, and feeling misunderstood. Despite Brian's adversities, he has overcome so much at such a young age. Brian just took his iReady assessment and scored a high 3, which he scored at a level 1 at the beginning of the year. He has not received a single referral in months. He's talked to me about his feelings rather than acting out. He's reading at almost a 4th grade level and learning that he loves to read. He has also just recently taken his FAST math and ELA test that he passed with flying colors with, which I waited until this moment to tell him this wonderful news that that he's been working for all year long. He told me that I was the only teacher that actually cared about him and cared about his life. So I would just like to thank Brian for all his hard work, and I can't wait to see what kind of leader he becomes.
Our next hero is Deshaun Simmons from Bruner Middle School, and Michelle Crosby will tell us why he was selected.
I've had the pleasure of working with Deshaun for the last 3 years. And it's been a long 3 years, but they've been good. During this time, Deshaun has worked really hard to meet some of his goals. And one of those goals is regulating his behavior in the classroom, in the academic setting. This has led him to be a better leader, student, classmate, and teammate. I can tell you some stories about Deshaun. He comes to my class to get a break when he needs to regulate his behavior. He comes to my class to get a snack. He comes to my class to get help for his work, just whatever he needs. At Bruner, we are so proud of the student athlete Deshaun has grown into. Deshaun is a kind person that makes all of us at Bruner proud of him.
Cindy Gates will now introduce us to Choctawhatchee High School's hero, Brian Caceres.
Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Gates, and I worked as an educator in Okaloosa County for over 31 years, most of my years at Choctaw. On behalf of Choctawhatchee High School and Principal Michelle Heck, I am humbled and honored to introduce Brian Caceres, Choctaw High School's student hero. Brian's been my hero for many years. I first met Brian as a young child and have watched him grow from a young boy into an amazing young man. Our family has been friends with Brian and his mother for many years. They have stayed strong through some very challenging times. Losing Brian's father when Brian was in the 4th grade was a struggle for both Brian and his mom. Brian and his mother even had a period of time where they had to live separately. Brian loves his mom so much and even helps her with her job in the afternoons and over the weekends. They are a very close family. He's such a great son, and I know that his mom, Guadalupe, considers him her hero. Brian's grades in school have always been good, but he entered high school and was encouraged to take more challenging courses at Choctaw. He was somewhat insecure about whether he was ready or that he could be successful in those classes. He became a great student, making good decisions about coursework that has prepared him for college. Brian has volunteered at his church, the school, and in the community. He also has become one of the most outgoing and well-liked students at Choctaw. His teachers have recognized his growth despite the challenges and struggles his family may have had. His mother has spent all of her time loving and supporting Brian, and many times taking on several extra jobs. Brian has received, let me say that going to college has always been his number one goal, and has always been his mother's number one goal for him to have the opportunity to go to college. Brian has received several different awards and scholarships during his senior year. He is an AP Distinguished Scholar. He has a 4.4 GPA, weighted GPA, and will be graduating summa cum laude on May 23rd. Brian has also been accepted to Florida State University's Honors College and is receiving Florida State University's prestigious VIRE Scholarship. This fall, 2024, Brian will officially become a Seminole, where he will study English and plans to attend law school after graduation. Through his 4-year journey at Choctaw, Brian is no longer that shy student. He has become a smart, inspiring, and engaging young man who started life with a goal, and now here he is. Brian has unlimited potential, and we will be hearing about him in the future. He will inspire and motivate others by whom he is surrounded. His incredible smile will forever be etched in my heart and in the heart of others from Choctaw. I want to close with a quote from Dana Fusco, one of his AP teachers. Brian has the rare combination of IQ and I will. He doesn't only rely on his aptitude, but he's well-developed work habits as well. What a wonderful combination. Congratulations, Brian, for winning this award, and thank you to Brian's teachers at Choctaw and administrators who have led him along the way.
France Pierre from Crestview High School will now introduce us to their hero, Ethan Eby.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. The elevator to success is out of order. You will have to use the stairs one step at a time. I'm not sure if the author, Joe Girard, had Ethan Eby in mind when he composed that quote. Ethan instantly came to my mind when I read it. Most of my interactions with Ethan have been in the hallways for the past 2 years. I have even tried to teach him how to say bonjour in French. With success, I might add. Okay? Every time I interact with Ethan, no matter what kind of day I'm having, I instantly feel uplifted. Making eye contact with him has a soothing effect on everybody. His eyes, the windows to his soul, reflects nothing else but joy, love, and a certain contagious, soothing peace of mind. Ethan is part of the morning announcement at the school. That daily have a great bulldog day is what we look forward to. When he's absent, we looked at the PA system. What's going on? Where is Ethan? Sets the mood for myself as well as my classes. All the kids talks about Ethan with love and respect. As a teacher, I have included Ethan as part of my motivational and inspirational discussions in class. You see, Ethan stands barely 3 feet tall, but he's a giant. For Ethan, the everyday routines of life is a major challenge physically. Navigating the school's hallway amongst classmates, I imagine, must be an hourly Mount Everest expedition challenge. If you've never walked the hallways of a high school, when classes are changing, try it again. Yet, he goes about his business one step, one class, one smile, one positive word at a time. He exudes to everybody who comes in contact with him that he will get there, even if the elevator is out of order. And that either jumpstarts or adds an extra step to your own daily lives, to our own daily lives as we face our own comparatively mundane challenges. Ethan Eby is my and other students' inspirational hero. And I can tell you, every time I interact with Ethan, I looked at myself, I say, man, what are you complaining about? Thank you.
Brian Carter is the hero from Davidson Middle School, and Michaela Wilkes will share his story.
It is my absolute honor to stand before you on behalf of Davidson Middle School and present the Cox Inspiration Award to a truly remarkable individual. Today, we celebrate a journey of resilience, compassion, selflessness embodied in none other than Brian Carter. Brian's story is one of triumph over adversity, a testament to the strength of human spirit in the face of challenges. Throughout his battle with childhood cancer, he displayed remarkable resilience, grace, and an unwavering commitment to others. Instead of dwelling on his own struggles, Brian's primary concern was understanding and alleviating the burden of his illness placed upon his loved ones. His empathy, his selflessness has shone brightly even in the darkest moments. But Brian's journey doesn't stop with overcoming personal obstacles. It extends far beyond into the realm of service and kindness. His involvement in our buddy program at Davidson speaks volumes about his character. His selflessly dedicating his time to support students within our ESU department. Brian has not only made a tangible difference in their lives, but he also has fostered a sense of belonging and inclusion within our school. What truly distinguishes Brian is not just his resilience and his altruism, but his kindness and his humility. Despite facing the challenges that would taunt even the strongest among us, he remains a beacon of positivity, humility, and hope. His approach to life serves as a guiding light for us all, reminding us the transformative power of compassion and perseverance. Today, we honor Brian with this award. We celebrate more than just his personal journey. We celebrate the profound impact that he continues to have in our community. He is not merely a survivor, but he is a source of inspiration, a testament to the human capacity for strength, kindness, and grace. Brian, your journey inspires all of us. On behalf of Davidson Middle School, I extend my heartfelt congratulations and my deepest gratitude. You truly deserve this award.
Our next hero comes from Destin Middle School. It's Zeke Kearns, and he'll be introduced by Dr. Belinda Small.
Zeke said he's nervous. I said, just look beautiful. All right, here's your moment, Zeke. All right, Ezekiel Kearns has the ability to light up every room that he enters and show love to all that are lucky enough to get to know him. This love for the world his family calls is his superpower. However, Zeke has asked if he could maybe change his superpower to be a great math student or a sports athlete, but still love the world too. On any given morning at Destin Middle School, Zeke might be seen at the end of the hall holding the door open for upperclassmen, and he high-fives them and he wishes them a good day. And if he is ignored by a middle schooler who is deep in their own thoughts, he just looks at them with the utmost confidence and says, hey, what about me? What about me? And then those middle schoolers come to him and high five him, fist bump him, and they move on and have a wonderful day together. I love that confidence about you. Yep. Then Zeke has a genetic condition known as 22q deletion or DiGeorge syndrome. It can present itself as a learning and social challenges, speech and language difficulties, among many other physical issues. For Zeke, it's caused some learning issues as well as painful juvenile arthritis and severe scoliosis. He and I share that part in common. Yeah. He has had to wear a brace, and he wears a brace at night over many years for the scoliosis to attempt to slow the curvature of his spine. Zeke's attitude towards his disability and the obstacles it's presented is the same as his attitude towards life. No matter how great the challenge, he strives to improve. And one step at a time, he always succeeds and often exceeds the expectation of his family and his teachers. He attends tutoring at Mathnasium. He attends tutoring at school several times a week. And according to his parents, his grades of D's and F's have now become C's and even earning A's and B's. It's just amazing. Zeke also works hard at physical therapy to help correct a limp and the compensatory pain he experiences as a result. Despite his pain, he begs to play football and baseball on his community leagues and his friends each season, which, by the way, they just won Saturday, the championship. It was amazing. Community, huge event. In addition, his parents have faced their own medical setbacks with many surgeries for each, but Zeke is there all along to encourage them. Ultimately, the curvature of Zeke's spine has become so severe that he will undergo 2 spinal surgeries this summer. Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia will perform a spinal tethering surgery, making Zeke one of the first children in the world with 22q genetic syndrome to undergo this surgery. Experts state that it is one of the most complicated surgeries in medicine. But in typical Zeke fashion, he is facing these looming challenges bravely and teaching his parents and all of us how to be resilient. Zeke's family will soon be making the move to Washington, D.C., day after school's out, and the entire Marlin family and student body will desperately miss this bright spot in our day. To share the words of Zeke's father, Zeke is our hero. He is incredibly resilient, uncompromisingly hopeful, tirelessly hardworking, and eternally optimistic. He steadily overcomes every challenge thrown against him and climbs on with a joyful and resilient spirit, kindly loving all of those lucky enough to meet him on the journey. Although we will not get to see Zeke after his surgery due to his move to Washington, D.C., the sheer joy he brought to students and staff will stay in the hearts of Miss Markey and all of the teachers and students at Destin Middle School for years and years to come. Zeke, my man, you're the coolest.
Edge Elementary School selected siblings as their heroes for this year. Cecilia Richter will tell us about Sophia and Jamison Ledford.
Jamison is an enthusiastic and caring student. He is helpful and kind and always hopes to make others smile. After his father passed, he continued to share his caring heart, looking toward the best interests of others. He has a unique and special way of making those around him comfortable and happy, which is something his father did so well. We are all incredibly proud of him for the resiliency and positive attitude he has shown despite their insurmountable difficulty of losing a parent. Jamison is a true joy to have in class, in our school, and in our community. Sophia is a driven and caring student. She is a friend to everyone she meets and always tries to include others. After her father passed, she continued to persevere, coming back to school with the same compassionate and diligent attitude. She has shown time and time again that even though a situation can be difficult, if you work hard, you can achieve anything, something her father instilled in her at a very young age. Sophia is an inspiration to others and someone that not only her peers can count on, but adults in her life as well.
Edwins Elementary School is next to the podium with their hero, Lane Mitchell. Here's Ashley Soul to tell us why.
Lane was chosen to be Edwin's Cox hero based on his attitude and academic performance this year. Lane came to third grade lacking self-confidence and had a hard time regulating his emotions. Lane has taken the tools given to him this year to ask for help and work through tough academic situations and social situations, where in the past he would just shut down. Lane has had no disciplinary actions this year. As of last year, he had 18, but this year we have had no disciplinary actions. He's using all the tools given to him to communicate his needs before escalating. Lane shows up each day with a positive attitude. He works through big emotions and challenges. Lane is asking and answering questions in class, whereas he would just sit there normally. He's making a conscious decision to become a better student and a better friend to everyone in his class.
June Whiting Cobb, teacher at Eglin Elementary School, will be next to the podium to introduce us to their hero, Jordan Johnson.
Good afternoon, everybody. It gives me great pleasure and so much joy to introduce you to Mr. Jordan Johnson. I met Jordan when he was in second grade. He is an outgoing, positive student. He tries to uplift and encourage his friends and everybody around him in the classroom and throughout our fourth grade family. He does laughter, he does joking, he does drawing, he does dancing, anything to make everybody feel better. He's very intelligent and he's sensitive, but it is that innate intelligence and sensitivity that has Jordan so tuned into his environment that sometimes he feels overwhelmed. And he explained it to me that he sometimes feels like he's a pressure cooker and he just wants to explode, or he feels like he has to just get out. And he would elope. He would get up and walk out of the room. He would yell. He would shut down. He would become verbally or physically explosive. One thing he always did, though, is he would let me rub a pressure point on his hand, and you could just see him starting to de-escalate. He's not like that anymore. He is a model student. He demonstrates self-control, and he uses self-redirection when he feels like he's under pressure or he's not focused and he wants to just get out. He finds a way to self-correct. In the past, Jordan preferred to stay by himself and not hang out with his classmates or his friends or even me. He doesn't do that anymore. He has many, many friends. He sits down and talks with me. One day he came up and just sat with me at my desk just because he wanted to work by me. It brought a tear to my eye. I have to admit it. He was so recognized by his friends. He was nominated to be on the Hope Squad, which is a suicide prevention committee at our school, by his peers. He refused it, but just to know that everyone wanted Jordan to be on there to talk to his friends as a support made him feel so good that they really thought that highly of him. Jordan strives to be successful academically and socially. He sometimes feels like giving up rather than trying or being incorrect. But one thing he's learning is that success comes in many, many forms, and he's starting to accept them all. I know that Jordan is going to continue to succeed for the rest of this year and in the future. And personally, I'm just elated to have him in my classroom. I'm proud to say he's my student. I'm proud to say he's in Eglin Elementary, and I'm so humbled to be standing next to Jordan today, presenting him with this award.
Scott Nuss, the principal at Elliott Point Elementary School, will now tell us about their hero, Eric Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this simple because I'm going to tell you this. When you use the words perseverance and adversity, it definitely equals Eric Sanchez. And I can say this because when I look around, he has had the opportunity to be with the numerous principals here, and they all can speak on this behalf as I kind of go through this journey. So Eric was born with hearing loss. That already comes with a bunch of challenges of its own. So how do you communicate, right? Sign language. Well, also one of the things that challenges that Eric has had to overcome is that he also comes from a Hispanic family, and so that comes with its own challenges. So he's had to kind of learn things a lot on his own. And so that other challenges when not just born deaf, but coming up from a Hispanic family, he's had to learn to communicate through language with only that he's learned from the school setting. So think about that. So when you have a different type of communication at home than you do at school. And so when you go through those, sometimes it can be embarrassing. You think of like, I have an interpreter with me. How do I act? I have somebody coming with me at all times. And so sometimes that can be perceived as being aggressive or physical because his way of communicating is touching, feeling, getting close in people's personal space. And Eric has come a tremendous, tremendous way. I would say, I think last time I checked going through his history, and I think we were just talking about that. We're talking probably in excess of anywhere from 75 to 80 probably office referrals at one time. This year, I'm proud to say, this semester, I think we have one. So that right there is huge. And I'm going to tell you real quick where this comes from. One of the things that Mr. Chambers prides himself on for all of us is trying to build those relationships and getting to know those kids. And I think all schools do a great job, but I know Ms. Bowden has done a phenomenal job, his teacher there at Elliott Point. And all of us has tried to get a chance to know Eric a little bit and realize that some of the stuff that he does is just him trying to communicate. And he may just come off the wrong way. And so taking time to do that and trying to get to understand Eric and kind of step back and figure things out and obviously let the interpreters do their job, we've had a chance to get to know, to me, the real Eric. And he's a fun-loving guy, gets very embarrassed very easily. We fist bump just about every day to make sure, he's having a good day and things like that. And he is, like I said. I'm happy to say that he's going to be going to middle school, successful, and we're also in the process of working with him, hopefully getting him admitted into the Florida School of Deaf and Blind in Jacksonville to help him in that next part of his life too. So we're excited about this next step, but obviously it has to do with all the work that Eric has put in himself. And we thank Eric for sticking with us and doing everything that he's done. So thank you.
Jamaria Knox from Okaloosa Elementary School is our next hero, and she will be introduced by Todd Miller.
Wow, what an inspiration it is to see some of these kids that are out here. When I first got here, I was like, well, we're going to talk about Jamaria and, hear about all the awesome things that the kids are doing. But really, the parents, the educators, the kids, man, everyone's inspiring. But we want to tell you about Okaloosa Elementary and who we think is our hero and why she inspires every student in the school. In our class, we do three things. We say energy, attitude, and effort. You don't need to be smart. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have a position in life. You just have to have energy, attitude, and effort. And Okaloosa's hero is Jamaria Knox. She's faced many challenges in her life. Family and life adversities impacted her early on in her youth in kindergarten, first, second, and third grades. With changes in guardianship and living situations, she struggled both socially and academically in her early formative years. This resulted in her retention and placement in different classrooms and in different schools. This began to change when she gained confidence and maturity early in the 2022-23 school year, which was 2 years ago. She began her impressive academic transformation by advancing from a kindergarten level to a mid-second grade level in that academic year. That is a feat in itself. However, this year she arrived with even more energy, attitude, and effort, and her focus and determination was to return to general education. She set out to return to the general education classroom by advancing her learning from early mid-second grade to fourth grade level. She immersed herself into a relentless learning path that took her to her goal this fourth grading period of being in the fourth grade general education class. It did not come easy for her. She completed multiple FAB courses daily, speech therapy multiple times a week, and going into general education fourth grade classes for social studies and science immersion. She completed these daily transitions while tackling a very strenuous academic workload in both English and math to take her from that second grade to fourth grade level in 3 quarters. Her positivity, caring, and loving attitude makes her known by every child in the school. And her drive to improve herself and those around her makes Jamaria Knox a true Cox hero.
Next, Lindsay Smith, principal at Fort Walton Beach High School, will introduce us to their hero, Eric Scott.
You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. This statement describes our hero, Eric Scott. Eric is a senior and 4-year member of the Viking football team. He has played linebacker, defensive line, running back, fullback, offensive line, right guard, and fullback positions. He has practiced, trained, and endured many trials throughout his athletic career, but nothing would come close to losing his mother during his sophomore year of high school. There wasn't a practice or training that he had gone through that would prepare him for one of the toughest battles. In fact, he vividly remembers the day he learned that his mother was diagnosed with breast cancer while he was in 7th grade at Destin Middle School. Eric's life suddenly changed as he not only continued playing athletics and completing homework, he had to start helping care for his mother through some of the most difficult and precious days of her life. As his mother experienced chemo and treatments, Eric and his family experienced the effects too. The sense of normalcy was rerouted but never stopped. Instead of running to sporting competitions, Eric was running and helping with his mother's doctor's appointments and entering a totally different type of competition called the Battle of Life. If you talk to Eric, he says, it gets worse before it gets better, but it will get better. Eric's mother passed away right before Christmas during his sophomore year. Despite his mother's heart-wrenching battle, his focus and motivation never wavered. He joined the weightlifting program during the most difficult time and placed 4th in the Invitational. Eric loves life. He's, just a side note, is one of the happiest kids you'll ever meet. He's so friendly, and we love him at the fort. He is the epitome of optimistic. His patience and strength helped him to continue to persevere. He has been in our leadership program, where he helps with Christmas Connections program, raising money and gathering food items to give to families in need. He is a selfless giver who never rests until he's provided all the help he can for others. He has dreams of becoming a nurse so he can one day help others in the medical field like they helped his own mother. He would like to continue his athletic talents in football and continue leading and inspiring others. Eric is an athlete, an honors student, a motivator, a fighter, and our Fort Walton Beach High School Cox Inspirational Hero.
Jace McDonald is our next hero. Kenwood Elementary School Principal Peggy Land will tell us why.
Hi, it is such a pleasure here to be able to hear everyone's inspirational stories and to be able to share with you an opportunity I have about my little buddy Jace here, because I talk about him all the time, so why not talk to you all about him all the time? I've known Jace now for 3 years, and here's what I can tell you about Jace. Go big or go home. And we try to keep him from going home. And we like him going big and staying in school and doing the right thing. And the way I happened upon learning about Jace and his tale started 2 years ago, when we would be called frequently to one of his classrooms, and then frequently to yet another one of his classrooms because something wasn't going quite right. Whether that not quite right was his inability to understand what was going on in the classroom, or perhaps it was a student in the classroom's inability to do what they were supposed to do. Because Jace is a big lover of all things good and all things right. We like to call him one of our justice warriors. So if things aren't going right, he wants justice for that. Sometimes the going big with the emotions is wonderful and hugging and lovable, but when we first met, it wasn't always just that. Jace would get irritated and he would lose his temper, and he would have a hard time trying to pull that back together. So one of his very special teachers from kindergarten happened upon the conversation in one of our meetings where we try to navigate what can we do to help these children who are struggling in one way or another. And she said, well, you know, I have a pretty good relationship with him from a few years ago. So maybe we can work out a deal with him that he can be rewarded for good behaviors. So we posed this to Jace and we said, hey, you remember Miss Williams? She happens to be here today. She's over there sitting, smiling quietly. Do you remember Miss Williams? How do you feel about striking up a deal where you can go earn some time to spend with her? And he was all about that. So very quickly, we went from being called to the classroom to help Jace get a hold on his emotions to being able to celebrate. Jace is going again. Jace is going to Miss Williams' class again. Jace is going to Miss Williams' class again. Hey, Jace hasn't missed a day going to Miss Williams' class again. It's that impact of that very strong bond that he had with her that brought out his ability to start to harness and shape his behaviors in the way that he needed to still be able to love and to still be able to want justice and want the right thing to be done, but to express himself in the way that he now has control over. So it's no accident, or maybe it is, or maybe it isn't, that Jace moved into the 3rd grade last year, and so did one of his teachers. So our wonderful Miss Williams, who was his kindergarten teacher, now has been his 3rd grade teacher. Yes, so Jace has gotten to reunite with Miss Williams, and they get to see each other all day, every day. And he has become not only her favorite, but every 3rd grade teacher's favorite, because they're all rooting for Jace. And Jace is always rooting for them and rooting for us. You can't walk past Jace without him grabbing and hugging you. You can't walk past Jace without him calling over to you to say, please come talk to me, I want to see you, and to check in with you. We are all big fans of Jace, and we are so proud of him, because not only is he a justice warrior, not only is he a big lover, he also is one who has challenges each and every day that he has to work through. He's been under the loving care of his grandparents for several years now. And right now his grandmother is undergoing some very difficult, heavy-duty personal health issues. And we know that Jace and his ability to continue to care and to do so in a loving, expressive way is something that she's going to continue to need going forward. And we're just really proud of him for taking that heart of his and opening it up, not only to his grandmother and his family, but to his teachers and to all of the students that he got to visit and get to know last year who were younger than him, who enjoyed reading with him and him helping them pack their backpacks and get ready for the end of their day. Jace's circle has widened, his love has grown even bigger, and he's not going home. He's going big, and we love him for it.
Lee Martello, principal at Laurel Hill School, will now introduce us to their hero, Caleb Henderson.
I am extremely honored to recognize and introduce to you Mr. Caleb Henderson as Laurel Hill School's Cox Inspirational Hero. Caleb is a very quiet and kind young man that has a tremendous support system. Caleb has always been encouraged by his families, also his teachers, and he remains positive in his personal life, but also with his educational goals. Caleb has passed every single EOC, has met all of his graduation requirements, and maintains above a 3.0 on his GPA. As an elementary student, it was a slight different picture. He was a young man who struggled with a learning disability, and particularly in reading. Once additional supports were put into place, he began to improve in middle school. Once he got to high school, he was he persevered, and he decided he would tackle dual enrollment courses right here at Northwest Florida, which he was quite successful in. He continued to exemplify perseverance and determination while juggling high school and college responsibilities. Earlier this year, Caleb lost a very close family member in a sudden and tragic accident, and he chose not to dual enroll. However, this accident, of course, altered his life and his family structure, but he continues to be an encourager to his fellow students, to others in his class, and even in the face of tragedy, he has persevered and remained determined to succeed. We are very, very proud of Caleb and honored that he is our hobo hero.
Daniela Montero Flores is the hero from Longwood Elementary School. Here's Principal Lisa Tucker to share the story.
Good afternoon. It is my highest honor to introduce Daniela Montero Flores. I am so proud as a fifth grader of all of her accomplishments, because you and I know that moving across the street could be traumatic for many of us, right? Packing and moving, even across the street. Daniela moved from another country last year, and she knew 4 words in English. And today she stands before you, English proficient. She has not only gained English acquisition at Longwood Elementary School, but she is doing very well in her English language arts, math, social studies, and science. She excels in more than that, though. Ms. Rodden, our 5th grade teacher who nominated Daniela, has described her as an ambassador of sorts. You would never know that she's new to the country. She has been a friend and supporter to anybody and everybody, even staff members who might be having a challenging day. She has the gift of seeking out those who need support, and that's what she supplies. What many of us would have considered an obstacle, not knowing the English language, Daniela saw as opportunity. And she has seized that opportunity on a campus where we serve 7 different languages. Isn't that amazing? So not only for her Spanish-speaking friends, she moved from Honduras, but for all of us, Daniela is an inspiration. I'm so delighted that we have a whole campus full of students who are cheering her on even right now. But in the back, we have her parents and her 3 siblings who are learning from her. I love this story. I want Daniela to hear that your principal is learning from you too. I am so excited about where she's going in life, and she is definitely a world changer. Congratulations, Daniela.
Ann Barr, counselor at Mary Esther Elementary School, will now tell us about their hero, Lane Willis.
It's my honor and privilege to talk about Lane today. When you ask people to describe Lane Willis, you will repeatedly hear the words hard worker, determined, and perseverance. Lane enrolled at Mary Esther in his 4th grade year after a year of homeschool. Lane's parents decided to homeschool him during his 2nd grade year because Lane was so frustrated and defeated by school and the challenges that he faced that he refused to get out of the car. It became a struggle for his parents, and they decided homeschool was the best option. When Lane began at Mary Esther, he was shy, timid, and didn't like school. I never saw this kid smile when he first came into our office, and as a school counselor, it was breaking my heart to see that he didn't have a love of learning at all. He didn't have the connection. But his 4th grade teachers did some amazing work, and he connected to them and changed his whole attitude. His 5th grade teachers continue to praise Lane for his hard work and his positive, uplifting personality. All those that have worked with Lane are amazed by his persistence and determination. It'd be a disservice not to mention Lane's parents as being an important part of this change. Lane's parents have been a huge support for him and has worked with the school and communicated with us from day one about the struggles that we would face with him. Lane's success is the perfect example of teamwork of the school faculty and staff, the support of parents, and the impact of MTSS. I know MTSS is a struggle for a lot of teachers, but it does make the difference. Lane began elementary school as a student who hated school and lacked confidence to succeed. As his teacher said, he makes the entire classroom a better place to be. And if you're having a bad day, talk to Lane. Need a laugh? Talk to Lane. Lane is truly an inspirational student, not just for his peers, but for his faculty and staff of Mary Esther Elementary. Lane's smile that we see daily brightens everyone's day, and we're a better place because of him.
Charlie Morello, principal at Niceville High School, will now tell us about their student, S.J. Truby.
Thank you. The Cox student hero from Niceville High School is S.J. Truby. S.J. has always excelled academically and also athletically as a dual sport athlete playing football and track at NHS. In 10th grade, S.J. was diagnosed with a very rare and debilitating eye disease that was causing him to go blind at a very rapid rate. Within just a few months, he had debilitated so much that he wasn't able to attend school regularly because he was losing his vision. So within a matter of days, his entire life was put on hold as he went out of state for a very major and very risky eye surgery. It wasn't long after that SJ was recovering. He was adjusting to his new vision, but his medication suffered some really serious side effects. But in typical SJ fashion, he overcame that. And as he continued to recover from that, SJ finally got back to doing track and field and ultimately received a track and field scholarship to the University of Southern Mississippi. So like Cam mentioned for the student from Baker, that is where SJ is right now at the regional track meet. And he is throwing the javelin, I think, so I've checked his phone 17 times to see if he's qualified for state competition, but we feel real good about his chances. But I didn't want to not come today, even though SJ couldn't be here, just to have a chance to speak about him and tell him how proud we are. So SJ Truby is the Niceville High School Cox Student Hero Award.
Aaron Adams, counselor at Northwood Elementary School, will now tell us about their hero, Lake Montoya.
It is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to Northwood Elementary School's Cox inspirational hero, Lake Montoya. As Lake joins me here today, I can hardly believe that this wonderful young lady, this 5th grader that you see before you, is the same little girl that absolutely loathed, hated, and wanted nothing to do with 1st grade when she first came to Northwood. How can you be the same little girl who hated shoes and thought a desk was the worst piece of furniture ever? I'm not sure. She was not in the mood to take in all that 1st grade had to offer. And thinking back, though, to your educational journey, Lake, I think back to a quote that Usain Bolt once shared. There may be better starters than me, but I'm a strong finisher. Lake, you may not have been easy to start learning your letter sounds in 1st grade or put in all the hard work that we all know 3rd grade takes.
But Lake, you are finishing your 5th grade year extremely strong. Lake is the first time that I have had 2 separate teachers nominate someone for a Cox Inspirational Hero. Both Mr. Barksdale and Mr. Pratt nominated you for this award. They both shared that after Christmas, when most 5th graders begin to get 5th grade-itis, and if you've ever been around 5th graders, you know that struggle, Lake began to kick her work ethic up yet another notch and put in a lot of effort in her studies. The prize for that labor is that she has shown and met proficiency in 2 of her FAST tests in the last week. So we are so proud of you for showing that you are on grade level. Lake, I want to remind you to remain focused on the goals you set before yourself when you go to middle school in a few weeks. Remember that there may be better starters than you, but I know and I believe that you have the heart to always be a strong finisher in everything that you do. I am so honored to have you represent Northwood Elementary as our Cox Inspirational Hero. Thank you.
Andrew Adams from the Okaloosa STEM Academy will tell us about their hero, Judah Pierce.
Judah Pierce is our Cox Inspirational Hero. She's one of our high-achieving, hard-working 8th graders, and that's impressive. But what's more impressive is when you learn that she's doing this despite being in constant and sometimes outright debilitating pain. Back around Christmas, the principal called myself and her other core teachers into her office and told us that Judah would be at an inpatient rehab facility for the remainder of the year. And she asked us would we'd be willing to do virtual education for Judah, which, as we saw with COVID, is not something that's great always, but in this case, the district was willing to do it, and we all immediately said, yeah, absolutely. Since that time, Judah has continued to excel. She hasn't stepped foot in my classroom since Christmas, but she has remained one of my highest achieving students. Her average is over 100 in my class. We offer her a chance to go represent Okaloosa County at the Florida History Day contest even. She has continued to excel despite doing it from 3 states away, and it is amazing to see how she can persevere through that, persevere through the pain and now lack of presence. And it's truly inspiring to see someone like that excel despite all that she has had to overcome. And she is an inspiration to all of us. And that's why she is our inspirational hero.
Ms. Hanson from Plough Elementary School will now tell us about their hero, Nathaniel Taylor.
I am proud to present Nathaniel Taylor as the Plough Elementary Cox Inspirational Hero. From a young age, Nathaniel has faced adversity. Uprooted from his family in Texas, he has had to navigate through 5 different schools. Up until this year, he struggled to find motivation, and academics were not a priority. Academic tasks were met with avoidance, and he struggled with peer relationships. But this year, in 4th grade, Nathaniel has had a dramatic turnaround and has set himself on a different path. With the support of his dad, his stepmom, and his teachers, Nathaniel has found his stride. His overall attitude has changed, and he has developed a thirst for knowledge. In the first semester alone, Nathaniel increased his math and ELA scores by 2 grade levels, and his classroom grades have improved. Nathaniel has become a role model for his peers, embodying traits of maturity, leadership, kindness, and respect. His unwavering character has earned him numerous school-wide awards presented by several staff members. Looking ahead, I have no doubt that Nathaniel will continue to have success with the continued support of his family and his community. In fact, Nathaniel and I have made a handshake deal a couple months ago. He promised to invite me to his high school graduation, and I promised to be there in the crowd cheering him on. Congratulations to Nathaniel for this well-deserved honor.
Aubrey Bourgeois is our next hero from Richburg School, and to tell us about her is Stacy Daniel.
I met Aubrey last year when I was blessed to be her summer school teacher. At the time, I didn't know the full extent of Aubrey's diagnosis. What I did know about Aubrey was that she has big, bright blue eyes, an adorable smile, and the best laugh when you can get a good one out of her. I learned out of all the things that she could choose to be, she's a Swiftie. I only found out recently the full extent of Aubrey's diagnosis. Aubrey lives with a rare genetic disorder, non-ketotic hyperglycemia. This only affects 1 in every 70,000 children. Aubrey was diagnosed when she was a month old. Her parents were told she probably would not live to see her first birthday, and if she did survive, she would not live a happy life, but live as a vegetable. Obviously, her parents, Tara and Ross, who are amazing, loving, and supportive parents, did not listen, nor did Aubrey with her fighting spirit. Aubrey can sit up on her own. She claps and rolls around, usually wherever you don't want her to be. She laughs, and she laughs even harder if you hurt yourself, or if her little brother, Joey, right here, is in trouble. Aubrey had to prove once again this school year how tough she is. Aubrey started school in August, I can't get through this, and only got to come for school for 1 day. She had to have 2 emergency surgeries on her intestines. She ended up septic and on a vent. She was in the hospital for 26 days. Due to her NKH, she could not take the medicine she needed to recover as fast as she needed to, prolonging her health issues. After months at home healing and recovering, the decision was made for Aubrey to go on hospital homebound. When the email came across asking if anyone wanted to be her homebound teacher, I jumped at the chance. Although I had forgotten about the Swiftie part. But if I have to listen to Taylor Swift for someone, it would be Aubrey. All those things that she was not supposed to do, she's here doing. So it's worth listening to Taylor Swift. She sits up, swings those braids around like little weapons. She dances back and forth, claps the hands to the music, and if we're doing a read aloud and she's focused on the story, she gets excited for her favorite version of the alphabet song. When making gingerbread houses at Christmas, she throws the sprinkles all around the living room and laughs about it. When she's practicing for Special Olympics, she throws the ball and hits her brother right in the forehead and laughs about that too. No one in the room can be unhappy when you're around Aubrey. If you've had a stressful day in the classroom, showing up at Aubrey's house can brighten your day. She can even smile at my horrible rendition of Here Comes Peter Cottontail or any other song I choose to torture her with. I know how lucky and blessed I am to know this little miracle and her family. Aubrey is beyond special, and she has a very special family. If I could have nominated the whole family to be heroes, I would have.
Sarah Kennedy from Riverside Elementary School will now tell us about their hero, Cameron Maiden.
I am very humbled and just in awe of my friend here. It is easy to talk about Cameron and simply have a smile on your face because that is who he is. He is the person in the room that will always make you feel welcome, joyful, and full of life. He is one to accept challenges head on and find a way to make a friend along the way. He just walks down the hall and he will instantly make a friend anytime he's down the hall. Cameron has gone through many experiences in his life that most do not go through in a lifetime. Yet he seizes each day with a smile and positivity. His grandfather, Dad, has truly embraced Cameron and helped to mold him into the young gentleman he is. At just 6 years old, Cameron is sure to always learn the name of the person he is greeting and works hard to remember so he can say hello each time after. He actually asked our front office secretary what her name was, if she could repeat it, because he was going to make sure to see her the next day and say hello to her. Though he continues to face obstacles, Cameron is a true example of someone with a heart of gold. And we are so blessed and thankful for Cameron and the joy he brings each and every day, and his perseverance through all of his battles and the couple of ambulance rides we've had together. But we are very thankful together. Thank you.
Ruckle Middle School named Noah Leonard as their hero for 2024, and here to tell us about him is Keith Leonard.
Hi, good afternoon. Like I said, my name is Keith Leonard. I'm Noah's dad. Miss Watson couldn't be here representing the Ruckle Middle School. So I'll read the prepared remarks that were made up for Noah. Noah is an 8th grade student with Asperger's syndrome. He came to us last year from being homeschooled. Coming into a large public school for the first time was a difficult adjustment for Noah, and he struggled with discipline issues. The behavior interventionists, together with the school personnel, worked to find a plan to help Noah navigate his new surroundings and find a safe place and a safe person for him when he felt overwhelmed. Noah used those tools, worked very hard to overcome some fears and navigate life in a public school. This year, Noah has blossomed into an amazing student. He's recognized by his teachers and his peers as a wonderful student. He has made friends, is comfortable traversing the classroom challenges, lunchroom, and PE without one write-up. Noah's an inspiration to watch. He always has a smile on his face. He never gives up. He never loses hope, and he perseveres where others continue to struggle. We're proud of him as our Cox hero for Ruckle Middle School.
Amy Clue, principal at Shalimar Elementary School, will now tell us about their hero, Naomi Gam.
I know what you're thinking. This is the real Naomi. This is not her teacher, even though she's as tall as I am. Naomi first came to Shalimar Elementary as a quiet and shy kindergarten student, but has grown and built her confidence over the years. Reading has been a challenge that affected learning in all subjects for her. Despite this, Naomi persevered. By the 4th grade, she was working hard on building her reading foundations every day, even though many of her peers had moved ahead. Her exemplary work ethic was notable. As a testament to her efforts, her growth in reading was remarkable. Now, throughout her 5th grade year, Naomi has continued to develop her confidence and shown growth academically. She has secured a role as a sergeant for the safety patrol, demonstrating leadership and responsibility. And you could set a clock by Naomi coming in the hallway to get her safety belt on, her badge on, and get everybody else on track and ready to go. So even though she's shy right now, she can be bossy. Don't let her fool you. Despite her struggles in learning to read, she has persisted and has made great strides, far exceeding her stretch goals this year. She demonstrates a positive attitude as she approaches each new day. Her peers nominated her to serve on the Hope Squad for our school to help our students who might be struggling with emotions or difficulties. Naomi is truly deserving of this award because of her willingness to try, never saying "I can't," and her ability to persevere through social and learning challenges. As a hardworking student who doesn't let obstacles get in her way, Naomi is an inspiration to us all. Shalimar Elementary is proud to honor Naomi Gam.
Shoal River Middle School is next to the podium. Tara Chapman will tell us about their hero, Jaleric McCaskill.
Good afternoon. Unfortunately, Jaleric's teacher, Ms. Peterson, can't be here today, so I am going to be reading her words. And I have to tell you, I am proud of Jaleric. And one thing as a guidance counselor, one thing I've learned is that with these students, you can't judge them because we don't know what it is that they're going through. But I'm proud about Jaleric. Jaleric McCaskill is resilient, committed to improving himself, and is dedicated to the idea that education is the way to change his outlook on life and help him achieve a future full of possibilities.
Prior to entering my class, I had only heard Jalyric's name in connection with conversations about students that were disruptive or considered to have behavior issues. After being placed in my 7th grade life science class, I was able to discover the many wonderful sides of Jalyric. In the span of 5 minutes in class, Jalyric would give me a cause to call home about 37 times, but he would always give me the biggest smile of my day. He was just as likely to knock another student's pencil off their desk as he would to pick up a pencil, compliment the awkward and shy student on their drawing. Jalyric arrives to class smiling and leaves class smiling every day, even on days when tough life lessons have to be learned, because he knows that he is working towards a bigger purpose and a brighter future. Jalyric has had to overcome significant adversities that most students would never come close to experiencing. Jalyric has worked extremely hard to pull himself up from the behavior problems he had in 6th grade, as well as improve his academics. His Nana, Mrs. Denise McCaskill, is always available for a chat, as she has an unwavering commitment to helping Jalyric succeed. Despite facing personal challenges, Jalyric approaches each day with optimism and a can-do spirit. Jalyric actively engages in class discussions, collaborates with peers, and exhibits impressive deduction skills. With positive energy that is extremely contagious, he is an inspiration to his fellow students and faculty alike. Thank you, Jalyric, for showing your Mustang family that a hero is not perfect. A hero can have flaws, but they are always willing to grow and improve and share a smile. It is for these reasons that I nominate Jalyric McCaskill as the Cox Student Hero for Shoal River Middle School.
Raymond Honrada is the hero from Silver Sands School. He'll be introduced by Shannon Hudson.
When Raymond first started attending Silver Sands in 4th grade, he had violent tendencies and difficulty interacting with his peers and adults. He had a hard time self-regulating when he was upset and fixated on things that made him upset. Being told no and taking direction from authority was his least favorite thing. Over time and through the dedication of the staff at Silver Sands, he developed relationships and social skills to cope and calm himself down. Self-regulation is now a tool he uses when he needs it with minimal prompting. Raymond is now well-liked on campus. He's willing to help others. He's self-motivated to work, and we believe he has a future in any career of his choice. Currently, he wants to operate his own bouncy house business. Raymond has a variety of interests, including escalators, elevators, hand dryers, and flagpoles. He is extremely knowledgeable about these things and is happy to share it with anybody interested. We are so proud of the accomplishments and efforts that Raymond has made over the years to become independent. So I present to you Raymond Honrada, the Silver Sands Cox Hero Award winner.
Our next hero comes from Southside Primary School. Elva Alfrey will be introduced by Debbie Hahn.
Can you tell she's just a little excited? Okay. It's my honor and privilege to be able to talk about Elva today. Her teachers could not be here, so I got the privilege of being able to come with her. You want to help that? Okay. Elva's a sweet and nurturing student. She greets everyone, students and teachers at school each morning with a smile. Elva always has a positive attitude despite her medical diagnosis of ADHD. And let me stop right there. If you guys don't think that it was hard waiting through 35 people when you are ADHD, it's been hard. It's been hard, but she's done a great job. Furthermore, Elva's older sister has a medical condition causing seizures, which Elva has learned to understand, accept, and even be helpful with. She is always engaged in learning and is eager to participate in lessons. Elva always tries her hardest, even if it involves a little brain sweat. She's always willing to lend a hand to her classmates. Elva is especially helpful when it comes to solving problems.
Despite the medical challenges that Elva has, as well as your own medical diagnosis of ADHD, her social skills have not wavered, as she is a role model student. And on a side note, just as the principal of Southside, every morning we stand outside and greet our students. All the school, we stand outside, good morning, good morning. We love it. That's our favorite time of day. So every morning this child hugs me, every day, no matter what, no matter if it's raining, no matter if she's not feeling school for the day or whatever. She always hugs me, so she does start off with an exceptional positive attitude. I'd love to be like that. So sweet baby. Thank you. Southside student is Elva Alfrey.
Jeremy Olinger from Walker Elementary School is now here to tell us about their hero, Dominic Loomis.
Everybody has a sad story, and you know what they say about excuses? They're like armpits, and they usually stink. I'm here to tell you that Dominic Loomis had prescription deodorant for armpits. His excuses? He never used them, though. If anything, they were reminders from where he was and where he's going. When I received Dominic last year, when he came to me as a third grader, the boy couldn't read, and I mean that. He struggled through green eggs and ham. He sat there every day, he did his job. Fourth grade came around and I received him again, new year, because he managed to get a 2. He didn't retain. That young man, 1 year removed from not reading at all, volunteers to read every single day to his classmates. And I remind those students, there's no secret who the lowest reader in the room is, but there's also no secret that he's trying, and he's trying hard. Each day that child came with a new challenge. Since I have nominated him for the award, he has received another challenge. He was moved to another state due to his circumstances. Selfishly, I was mad and I was upset. And I was for a few days. But for the first time in his life, I'm optimistic that he's going to stop living on survival mode and start living in creative mode. He's the world's greatest showman, and he's going to show you one of these days, because he puts his best foot forward every day, and he does so for everybody else in mind. What I miss about him the most is I don't live in survival mode, folks. I live in a very lavish and relaxed life. I need those eyes that I once had, because he'd say, Mr. Erlinger, so-and-so could probably use a snack today. Hey, I think you should call so-and-so out. I don't think everything's going good. He put everyone else first and himself second. And that's why with the last few seconds, I'd like to say that Dominic Loomis would think each of these children today was a hero, and he would be thankful to be in a room with them. I've sat back there and cried for 2 hours. I'm not going to do it now. I'm Jeremy Erlinger from Walker Elementary, and it is my great honor to present Dominic Loomis with this award.
Our final hero for 2024 comes from Wright Elementary School. Levi Godwin is their hero, and Suzanne Boyd will share his story.
Good afternoon. I know you're excited to see me. This is our precious Levi Godwin, who has a tremendous Wright Elementary fan club in the back, and we appreciate y'all. So Levi is a second grader at Wright Elementary, and he's been truly an inspiration to watch grow and learn through his past 3 years at Wright. What makes him so special to us is how he approaches each day as really a new opportunity to be the best he can be with the most positive attitude. We have witnessed his growth as he has worked to master both academic and social goals. When it comes to academics, Levi works hard for his teachers. He focuses on the task at hand very diligently. It's very impressive, and he makes sure he completes it. He's very serious about his studies. He avoids interruptions at all costs, and he shows that he wants to be a learner. With his social goals, that's where we are extremely proud. We have seen such amazing growth with Levi's social goals. Levi works with his classmates and encourages them to do the same. When things don't go as planned, he's able to walk away, gather his strength and his courage, and make good decisions. And this has been a wonderful accomplishment for Levi, and we are sure to celebrate that with him each and every time, and it's daily. So we know that Levi's perseverance and positive attitude will take him far, and Wright Elementary is proud to honor him today.
Let's give these wonderful students another round of applause. And I'm happy to say we are not the only ones celebrating these students in Okaloosa County. Just yesterday, the Okaloosa County Board of County Commissioners passed their proclamation that I'm going to read real quick. It says, whereas since its inception in 1993, the Cox Inspirational Student Heroes Program has recognized more than 5,000 incredible students from Lafayette, Louisiana to Gainesville, Florida. And whereas these students were chosen by leaders at their school due to their resilience in the face of adversity, and whereas they have overcome the loss of a family member, a medical issue, difficult family situation, or other hardship, they did so with a smile on their face and continue to encourage and inspire others around them. Whereas the program is in its 31st year in Okaloosa County, and now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Okaloosa County, Florida, that they do proclaim the month of May 2024 as Cox Inspirational Student Hero Month. It is duly passed and adopted the 7th day of May 2024. And I would also like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all the teachers. It is Teacher Appreciation Week after all, so thank you to all of our teachers here. As you may have seen earlier, Channel 3 was here earlier. They said it's going to be on the 10 o'clock news tonight, so if you'd like to go home and hopefully catch a glimpse of yourself on TV, it'll be on tonight at 10. We also have another camera over here that we are recording for Year View. That's Channel 6 on Cox here in Okaloosa County, and we also put it on YouTube. So I will be sending the YouTube link to the schools once we have it posted so that you can view today's ceremony or share it with loved ones that are unable to attend. That is our program for today. Thank you to our elected officials again. Thank you to the school district for being a great partner in this program. We really appreciate it. If we could please now have all the heroes come to the front of the room. We're going to do a group photo. Thank you again for attending today's event.